Yebo, yebo, yebo. Welcome to Watch Me Build It. Tonight I'm going to be doing the review of the Bliger 42mm wave dial diver watch. These guys don't know how to name their watches, but they do know how to make them. So the watch is on the screen behind me. I paid $78 for this watch. Presently, there's a special going on. $84 today being the 25th of March 2020. I bought this watch because it's an homage to the Omega Seamaster 300M Professional. There's a build I'm going to do with this watch where I'm going to merge it with the Parnis 116622 Yachtmaster, and I can't wait to show you that, but I'm very keen to show you this one. All in all, this is an amazing watch. I also think it's a pretty faithful homage. This here is the Omega that it's homaging, the Seamaster 300 Professional M. Now, this watch is beautiful in many ways, but there are a couple of issues folk have with it. First of all, it's big. It's bigger. It's 42mm as opposed to 41mm on the previous Seamaster. And the helium escape valve is larger than it used to be. And for some people, that's an issue. What I discovered on the homage is that it keeps the case size of the previous model. It keeps the same helium escape valve size and shape as the previous model, but it brings in the new ceramic bezel, it brings in the new ceramic look dial with the etched wave lines in it, and I actually think it's a really great compromise for those of you who might be looking for something that looks like the new watch but wears like the old watch. There's not much more I want to say except to flip the camera and get on with this, so why don't you come and watch me review it. The wrist check is mandatory. This is a resurrected Honda OEM watch. It's probably based on a Citizen. It's definitely running a Miyota movement. It's a watch that I bought. It was a non-runner. I paid about $12 for it and put a new movement in and got it running again. So let's get into the review of the Bliger Seamaster 300M. I would love to give you a code for this watch, but there is no code on the official Bliger store. So you need to look for the watch that looks like this. Okay, so here we go. A Watch Me Build It outside in review. So if you've been with me long enough now, you will know that I begin with the buckle and then I move on to the strap. The buckle on the Seamaster, you can see I've worn this quite a bit since I've unboxed it. I like this buckle a lot. I like it because it's got heft. I like it because it's got the twin releases over there. Let's just have a look at that action. There we go. I like it because it's a milled clasp. I like it because it snaps into place nicely. I like it, well, it's got a diver's extension. So have a look at that, yeah? A milled link diver's extension. Yes, guys, the finishing is not top drawer. It's not bottom drawer, but somewhere close to the bottom. But again, for the money, more than you would expect. The clasp, what are the downsides? It doesn't have any micro adjustment whatsoever. No micro adjustment over there, and none on the actual buckle itself. So on that one, buckle, if we have a look over here, out of 10, I'm gonna give it, what do I do? A 6. I'm gonna give it a 6, yeah? Strap. Now, I really like this strap. To their credit, where they left out the micro adjustment, they've got half links. So there was one on this side, and there was one on this side. I've removed this one, and we just left with this one over here. The links themselves, they're finished really nicely. There's good heft to them. It's only 3 links. If you have a look at it, it's not 5. With slightly polished tracks. This really does resemble the current Seamaster 300M strap. There's zero taper. It's 20mm wide here, 20mm wide over there. One of the issues I've found with the strap is this. Have a look there. Can you see that this end link is the old model? It's not the current Seamaster 300M. It's got a profile over there, and there's a kind of a beveled, not a beveled stripe, but a scoring stripe between those two pieces of steel that's not present on this strap. So this is a hybrid of the old Seamaster strap and the new Seamaster strap. It's unfortunate because it gets itself marked down. Pins, it's just a push pin. There are no screwed links involved over here. But I quite like this strap. It's comfortable, it wears well. It's not the best steel strap, but it's so far from being the worst. So I'm going to give the strap a 7. By the way, do you like Peter Rabbit? And I don't know if you've noticed my son's penguin peeping out over there. I just thought I'd use some of their toys lying around the playroom as props. Case back. Case back on this one I quite like because it's unusual. No information on it at all. A circular brush in the middle, highly polished on the edges, but I really like this, would you call that a scalloped edge? Reminds me of a Coke bottle top. I like that case back. There's nothing tremendously special about it, but yeah, I think if we're going with a case back out of 10, I'm going to give it a 6 because it's just a bit above average here. Movement. So what do we got inside here? Let's just listen to the rotor. Can you hear it? Nor can I. Let's get this. Let's listen to the sound of the winding. Can you hear it? Nor can I. It's very smooth actually. It's got a quick set date function. Yeah, that's quite loud. It's just the way it's configured, and it's a hacking hand winding movement. I don't know what this movement is. It's probably a DG2813 or an ST1612. The movement runs a power reserve of about 48 hours, and it's running an accuracy of about plus 4 seconds a day. I think it's a great movement. I'm not going to go anywhere close to 20, but I'm going to give it a 16 because I think it's a strong movement and there's nothing that I can really complain about with this movement. Case finish, right? Let's come in to the case finish. Now, I really believe Bliger have done a decent job over here. So we've got, yeah, highly polished edge over there, brushed on the inside. It's got the turned down lugs, the typical Omega turned down lugs, brushed on the edges, and then a polished bevel on the back. A slight problem that I picked up. Have a look at that beveled edge. Can you see it's not entirely straight along here? There's a bit of a wavy pattern. So that's not entirely as good as it could be, but all in all, I was really impressed with the case finishing on this. Way better than some of the other offerings I've seen at this price point. The crown, of course, is unsigned, just a glossy crown. If you can hear my boys in the background, please forgive them. They're 8 years old, it's Friday afternoon, and they're just having fun. So, case finishing, I'm going to give an 8 to case finishing over here. Bezel and crystal. The crystal's really nice on this watch. As you can see, it's got a moderate dome. It's a double domed crystal, and it doesn't distort the light because it's double domed. And yeah, really nice crystal. The bezel I enjoy. I really like the scalloped shape. I really like the feel of the bezel. Got a nice firm click to it, and really not a lot of backplay at all. You can see it. It's a really great bezel. The bezel insert is a ceramic insert. You can see from the sheen and also from the fingerprints. It's not a loomed ceramic insert though. I think one of the downsides on the particular, on the homage front, is that this blue is not the same blue as it is on the watch that it's homaging. But all in all, a great bezel, a great crystal. So bezel and crystal, I am going to give, out of 15, I'm going to be giving an 11. Now, hands and dial. Hands and dial is a bit ambivalent for me. We've got the date at 3 o'clock. I think it sits well. The weight is nice. And the size and length of that date are very similar to the index at 9. We've got the beautiful wave pattern on here. This obviously isn't a ceramic face, but it's laser etched, and I imagine it's brass that's coated. And I think done really, really well. I like the depth. I like the interest that that dial renders. The indexes are well filled with lume, and they've got beautiful silver surrounds. Then we've got the hands. Now, these hands are blued, but I doubt they're blued steel. They're probably a painted blue. And if we, I don't know if the camera will focus if we get really close up, but the edging on the hands isn't too great. Can you see the white detail on the edging of the hands? Nowhere near Omega standards. Now, the problem I have with the hands is the legibility. They really are a weak spot. Look how nicely they pop when the light is right. But the legibility is a problem. The fact that they're skeletonized, the fact that you've only got a little bit of lume over there, this watch is difficult to read in many lights. And that for me is probably the single greatest downside of this entire watch. Legibility really is a problem. So where we're going with hands and dial, out of a possible 15, I would go as low as an 8 on legibility, but because of the wave pattern and the way that it plays with the light, I'm going to go up to a 9 for hands and dial. Now, X factor. What do I feel about this watch? I've actually enjoyed this watch a great deal. It isn't one of my favorites because of the color of the bezel insert. A nice punchy blue would have done a better job. This color is more of a, I don't know, somewhere teal, aquamarine, something of that nature. And the legibility of the hands, they detract from the enjoyability, but the quality of this watch for the price that you pay is amazing. So X factor, out of a 10, I'm going to go with a 7 over here. And that is my up close and personal review of the Bliger Seamaster 300M. Right, I just want to take a bit of time to do some dimensional verification over here. So diameter on this one, 40.6, so under 41. 13.9, just under 14. Lug to lug, 45.8. Inside lug, 19.8. So I wanted to take a bit of time to point out the finishing on the inside. Really well done inside those lugs. It's a telltale sign. It's a place where a cheaper manufacturer would sort of take chances. But I really think these are done beautifully well. And then just to verify, these tabs do make it look like it might have been a hollow end link, but it's not. That is a very decently machined solid end link on the bracelet. You get a wrist shot on my 7-inch wrist. It sits really well. At 41 or 40.8 mil, really a good size. The big buckle, I think it sits very comfortably. So, what do you think? I really think it's an amazing watch. 70 out of 100 was the score. This watch would have scored a distinction, at least a 75, if those hands didn't let the party down. But the hands did let the party down. They really just lose the legibility on this. I suspect that if you go for a black dial with silver hands, you're probably going to get a far better legibility out of that combination. My thoughts on Bliger versus Parnis. I will do a head-to-head at some point between the watch that I build from this and the Parnis 116622 homage. But gut feel, Bliger's a better quality watch. Case finishing, I would say, is better. The movement was an amazing movement, really. I'm very impressed with it. And there was nothing about this watch that left me feeling, I could have done this better. So yes. Now, if you're wondering, if you look around, there's a store called the Wrap Store. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. All right, so there it is. It's the Rapo Store. Rapo Store. Please, China, pay somebody who speaks English to name your stuff for you. Bliger, Rapo. The cringe factor. I don't know. You could call it in. You could turn it into cringe factor, right? Anyway, this is their offering, and it is closer to the current Seamaster 42mm case. Same great big helium escape valve. What I find troubling though, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but they've actually blanked out portions on the dial where Omega and master coaxial movement would go. Now, my homage doesn't have that. As I've said before, I'm all for homages, but I hate fakes. I've got a feeling this one on the Rapo Store is not an homage. I've got a feeling it's a no-name fake, and I think you probably find they produce fakes from the same factory. So yeah, and $199 US, literally double the price for 1mm. You make the choice. But all in all, I just want to say thank you so much for watching me review it. Please be sure, guys, like, subscribe, click the little bell, and comment. I'm getting comments coming, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving chatting to you guys, and I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Go well, stay safe, and I look forward to the next episode of Watch Me Build It.